Hey beautiful souls, David Essery here. I wanted to do a video today to share a message with you that I received from Lord Voosloo yesterday. It's quite an interesting one. It wasn't really what I was expecting when it came through. But I'll read it to you first and then we'll talk about it in a little bit of detail. This is what he had to say. He said, "Today is a day of great transformation, for it is the beginning of a new world as we know it. Gone are the days of shadow. All that remains is energetic debris. Tomorrow is a day of great transformation, for it has not yet been written, and all things are possible. What you make of this incredible time in the history of the universe is your making, to determine not only what you wish to do in this world, but who do you want to be. Where you choose to direct your energy determines the outcomes of this moment in time. When we view time in this manner, we begin to see the importance of each and every passing day. For they pass in the blink of an eye, never to return again. Once in the past, it lives on only in our memories. The choice is yours in how you wish to remember it. The choice is yours in how you let it affect this present moment. Why do I tell you this? I do so to enable you to take ownership of your timeline, to reconfigure your idea of the past, to make most of the present, and to manifest in the future. These tools will offer all that is required to take full control of your life, to step into the person you wish to be, to live in the world you wish to create. Yours in ever-loving light, Lord Voosloo." Thank you, Voosloo, for this beautiful message. I've been thinking about this quite a bit since it came through yesterday. Let's just break this down a little bit. I mean, obviously he's talking about time as we know it, right? The time is sorry, excuse me. Just eating some seeds before the video, there you go. He's talking about how we perceive time as a human being. It's obviously a 3D construct. It exists to us down here in physical. To them, time doesn't exist. You know, a lifetime could span like that to them, just in an instant. It's very much a side effect of being down here, but yet we allow time to rule our lives, whether it's always rushing because we don't feel we've got enough of it, whether it's always focusing on the things that happened to us in the past and allowing that to rule our lives now, whether it's always dreaming of a better future and not being in the present moment. It has such a powerful hold over our lives. And what he's trying to distill to us in this message are tools to enable us to kind of take control of our timeline. In fact, that's what he said. In essence, take control of our life. So let's break this down a little bit. He started off by saying, "Today is a day of great transformation, for it is the beginning of a new world as we know it." Now, we know that we create our world around us through our experience, through our thoughts, through our feelings, the way we expect things. It's the classic, is a glass half full or half empty example. If we see the glass as half empty, we will see a world that is lacking, that's not bright and positive. If we see the world half full, we see it, as filled with possibilities, with light. And because we are such powerful beings, we create our world through our third eye, through our vision of it. If we see it as a glass half full, we see our world as half full. If we see our glass as completely full, we will see our world as completely full. So we have the power within this present moment, within today, to create our world as we wish. And that's a decision we can make in the first moment when we wake up in the morning. We can put our feet down on the ground, we can ground us, and we can say, today is a beautiful day. Funny enough, I was having this conversation last night at the beginning of my Lightworker Ascension gathering, because today is Friday the 13th. And I just thought I'd get a feeling for what people thought in the chat. Personally, I really like Friday the 13th. It feels like a great day to me, a great opportunity to get stuff done. And I thought, I wonder what the consensus will be. And overwhelmingly, everyone in the chat was saying that they loved Friday the 13th. But yet so many people see it as a negative, an unlucky day. And of course, if they go into that day with the idea that it's going to be unlucky, they're going to manifest bad luck. It's the exact same principle. So even just in this first simple line, he's advising us to see today as an opportunity to create the world that we wish to live in. He says, following on from that, gone are the days of shadow. All that remains is energetic debris. And he's highlighting something here that he'll get into a little bit more later, but essentially he's saying today is the day, it's a new day that we can create. And the days of shadow are behind us. You know, whatever's happened in our past, the pain, the traumas of our past, it's gone. It's behind us. It no longer exists. In this now moment, in today, that no longer exists. It's gone. All that remains is the energetic debris. So it's basically what we carry into today from the past. He follows it on along the very same theme. Tomorrow is a day of great transformation. So he's used that same wording again. Today and tomorrow are both days of great transformation. For it has not yet been written, and all things are possible. We like to think, I think, down here that, you know, our lives are all laid out before us and we're just going along with the motions and living it out. But the reality is we have free will. We create our life down here. Yes, there are certain moments and things that we choose to do before we come down. But even those things we can avoid if we desire to, because we have free will. We can do whatever we want down here, and we can create whatever world we want for us. There's no, you know, puppet master pulling the strings or anything or telling us we have to be here or there at a certain time. We are in control of our own lives, and it has not yet been written. And as he said, all things are possible. Tomorrow can be whatever we want it to be. He goes on to say, what you make of this incredible time in the history of the universe is of your making, to determine not only what you wish to do in this world, but who do you want to be. You could see this in one or two ways. You know, obviously we can look at energetically, whereas we are as a planet, we are in the most momentous time within the history of not just the Earth, but our universe. Nothing has ever happened like this current ascension process that we're going for. Anywhere in the universe, this is unprecedented what we are doing today, what we are doing and the speed in which we are doing it. And of course, that is worth, you know, making the most of that opportunity. The flip side, of course, is, you know, what we make of it, as he said, what we make of this incredible time in the history of the universe is of your making. This day, today, or even tomorrow, as he's talking about, will never ever exist again. It's Friday the 13th of September 2024 today. This is the only Friday the 13th of September 2024 that will only ever exist in history. Once it's done, it's gone. It will never ever be again. It's kind of mind-blowing, really, when you think about it. And if this is a singular moment in time that's never going to exist again, what are we going to make of it? Are we going to really experience it to the full? That's a question for all of us, really. And, you know, as I said a minute ago, he went on to say, determine not only what you wish to do in this world, but who do you want to be? If tomorrow's not written yet, there is no preordained thing that's determining what we have to do or who we want to be as a person. If we want to completely change who we are, we can do that. We have the power to do that. Anything could happen tomorrow. All things are possible. He says, where you choose to direct your energy determines the outcomes of this moment in time. So again, this is about creating our world, right? Where we decide to flow our energy, if we decide to put it into something that brings us anger and frustration, then that's exactly what we're going to have, and we're going to create a world of anger and frustration around us. Then we'll find more things to make us angry, and it will build and build and build. If we decide to direct our energy into something beautiful, into loving, into peace, into creating, into learning, into just being, then this will affect the outcome that we go forward from that. It will affect every single aspect of our world, because it will create our world. Where attention goes, energy flows. That's such an important statement to bear in mind as we choose what to do with this pivotal moment in time. He says, when we view time in this manner, we begin to see the importance of each and every passing day. As I said, this day will never exist again. So, what are we going to do with it? I saw a kind of scary quote the other day that basically said, if the average lifespan is, say, 80 years or something like that, that only means that in our lifetime we will only have 80 summers, 80 winters, 80 Christmas days, 80 birthdays. That's a really small number. A really, really small number. And just like that, we'll only have 80 13th of Septembers. We'll have even less Friday the 13th, or especially Friday the 13th of September. This may even be the only one that we have in our lifetime. Who knows? So what we choose to do with our life that's so fleeting is so important to make something of it. He says, for they pass in the blink of an eye, never to return again. Once in the past, it lives on only in our memories. The choice is yours in how you wish to remember it. The choice is yours in how you let it affect this present moment. And this is such an important thing for so many of us, because we've all had things that have happened in our lives, pain, trauma, frustration, disappointment, whatever it is. And we carry these things with us into every single day of our lives. We allow it to change the way we live our lives. Like, we won't do a certain thing because what if that thing happens again that happened once before? We may have lived thousands and thousands of days in this life, but on one day this one thing happened as a random freak accident, or because we had a run-in with one person that we're never going to see for the rest of our lives. We carry that moment with us into every single day. Dr. Wayne Dyer has got a brilliant analogy, which we'll see if I can remember it properly. But he talks about a boat, and as you travel forward in a boat, your engine moves you forward, and if you look out the back, you see the wake. The wake is essentially our past. Behind us is everything that's happened in our past. The wake cannot push the boat forward. No matter how it tries, it's always ever just going to remain in the past. So too, our past shouldn't be what drives us forward. Things that have happened to us shouldn't be affecting what's happening today. And I know it's one of those things, it's much easier to say than it is to do, to just say, leave it in the past and move on. And God knows I don't want to say, just get over anything like that, because I think it's one of the worst things you can say to someone. But we do have a choice, and I don't think it's about forgetting things and leaving things in the past, but we can choose to accept what has happened in the past and allow it to integrate and be a part of us, but not rule who we are moving forward. And one of the ways that we can do that is by really looking at what we can learn from those situations. Look at the reality of what happened. Is it going to happen again? Was there something for me in that? Was it all down to the other person? Whatever it is, by actually taking the time to look at these situations can be very healing. He says, he ends that sentence there, the choice is yours and how you let it affect this present moment. Do you want to live the rest of your life, if it's 80 years, and you're halfway through that, do you want to let your past affect those final remaining years, or do you want to live them to the most? Why do I tell you this? He says, I do so to enable you to take ownership of your timeline, to reconfigure your idea of the past, to make the most of the present and to manifest in the future. You know, these are tools, thinking about the things that he said to us today, that we've discussed today, how they apply to our lives, what we can learn from the situations in our lives, and make changes so that as we move forward, we can be more in the present moment, not ruled by the past or looking longingly towards the future, so that we can manifest a future that is not based on the past. You know, that's that classic expression, you know, that if it's always been that way, it will always be that way. It's not true. It's not true, and it's something that we tell ourselves to stop ourselves from getting hurt again, because we don't want to hope, we don't want to dream. But miracles happen. And if we spend our time living our lives by the past, by the events that happened before, all we're going to do is create those circumstances again. He ends it saying, these tools will offer all that is required to take full control of your life, to step into the person you wish to be, to live in the world you wish to create. Essentially, that's what we all want to do, isn't it? It's to take control of our lives, to not feel ruled or, you know, to feel like we have to do things, to be able to make choices for our own personal good, to make decisions from a place of self-love. So that is Lord Voosloo's wisdom for us. And this message has actually inspired me to run a workshop all around this, which I am going to be running 2 weeks last night, so it'll be the 26th of September 2024, called Healing Your Timeline. And Lord Voosloo is going to be our guide on this journey, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some healing for our own timeline. We are going to, and this is something I've done quite a bit of in my past as well. Early on my journey, I did a lot of timeline healing work, and it was so powerful, so instrumental for me. And what we can do is we can look at the situations of our past in a very detached manner, so that we don't have to experience them, and see what there is that we need to learn from these, because we can't let it go until we learn from the situation. It's such an important part of it. So we can see what there is to learn from these situations, and then once we've done that, we can release the emotion attached with it, leaving it in the past. Now, of course, something that's expected us once in the past, even if that's even a past lifetime, that could have been hundreds of years ago, it then has a knock-on effect throughout our timeline, you know, because of that one first moment. Then we had a fear and a panic at this other point because it reminded us of this, and at this point, and at this point, and this point. And once we've really cleared that initial first moment, we can begin to clear and heal the timeline all the way along. Once we've done that, we're going to do some work with Voosloo to anchor us into the present moment, to become in flow with the world, no longer ruled by that past, in the moment present, no longer, you know, dreaming of the future is a beautiful thing, but we need to live for right now as well. And then we are going to do some work to establish our vision for the future, again, free of the pains of the past, to create the beautiful world that we wish to around us, so that we can live our life to our fullest, so that we can make the most of those 80 summers, so that we can live in control of our lives. I'm really, really excited about this workshop. I think it's going to be such a beautifully healing, self-discovery, profound kind of workshop, and I love doing this kind of work, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you guys. So if you'd like to join me and Lord Voosloo for my workshop, Healing Your Timeline, on September 26th, I'll pop all the details down in the description below, and I would absolutely love to see you guys there. If you've enjoyed this video today, please do like and subscribe. I share content like this, meditations and stuff all the time, and I would love to have you as a part of our small community. Thank you all so much for watching, and wishing you the most beautiful day today. Sending you lots of love. Bye bye.